Hello, this is Sherman again. We're here with the detective trial, the case of the jealous actor, question and answers, part 2. Are you ready? You think you can defeat me? See if you can answer before I answer. Let's go. This is Joe, the actor. This is Sherlock, the detective. This is Vincent, the sergeant. This is Justin, the director. Let's listen, and I'll ask you questions.
What the hell happened between you two?
It was quite a spectacle. It happened about a month ago. We were getting our paychecks that day, and I was happy to find I got a raise. Joseph, on the other hand, was less fortunate. His paycheck was cut almost in half.
And why is that?
I don't even know where to start. Always forgetful, late for rehearsals, terrible temper. Take a peek.
Freaks. How dare they? What the hell is that?
I tried to explain the raise to him, but he refused to believe that I was worth more than
You're
him.
lying. You stole that money from me. You're a thief. Easy. Hey, Michael. Did Joe really believe that?
I doubt it. But he certainly didn't want to face the bitter reality.
You know what? I'm not gonna leave it like this.
Oh.
I will
Well,
report you. You are a freak.
okay, good luck.
I can't.
Let's see how well you listen. Here comes the questions. When did the spectacle happen? About a month ago. What caused the spectacle? Joe believed Michael had stolen his money since Michael got a raise but his paycheck was cut. Who received their paycheck that day? Joe and Michael did. Why was Michael happy? Because he got a raise in his paycheck. On the other hand, why was Joe less fortunate? Because his paycheck was cut almost in half. Why was Joe's paycheck cut almost in half? Take your choice, because he was always forgetful, late for rehearsals, and had a terrible temper. What did Michael try to do? He tried to explain the raise to Joe, but Joe refused to believe it. Why did Joe refuse to believe that Michael was worth more than him? Because he didn't want to face the bitter reality. What was the bitter reality for Joe? Michael was worth more than him. What did Joe threaten to do to Michael? He threatened to report him. What did Joe call Michael? He said, "You're a freak." Okay, let's listen again. I'll have more questions for you.
You know, Sarge, I think that Michael is telling the truth, and his report that he filed, his grievance, proves it.
Yeah, but you haven't even read it yet.
I don't need to read it. The fact that a report was filed with the union says it all. I mean, if there's really a theft, right, somebody's going to go right to the police, right? Because if there would have been an investigation with the union, it would have proved that there was no theft. And Joseph, he would have been humiliated. I think the director was just trying to save his face, you know?
Yeah, but why did the director remove the complaint?
It's probably for the same reason as, that's my hunch. I mean, if the investigation would have went through, they would have seen that there was no theft, and Joe, he would have been publicly humiliated.
So if Michael had nothing to do with it, who put the live round in the gun?
I don't know, stumped.
I'm sorry, guys, I hate to interrupt, but have you talked to the director?
Are you ready? Why does Sherlock conclude that Michael is telling the truth? Because the report that Joe filed with the union and his grievance proves it. What was the cause of Joe's grievance? The fact that his paycheck was cut almost in half made him furious. If there had been an investigation with the union, what would have happened? It would have proved that there was no theft and Joe would have been publicly humiliated. Why did Sherlock think the director dropped the case? Because he thought the director was just trying to save Joe's reputation. What hunch did Sherlock have? He thought the director was just trying to save Joe's reputation. What would have happened to Joe if there had been an investigation with the union? They would have seen that there was no theft and that he would have been publicly humiliated. Who had nothing to do with Joe's murder? Michael. Michael wasn't involved with Joe's death. He's innocent. What was Sherlock stumped by? He was stumped by the question, who put the live round in the gun? Okay, let's listen to some more and then I'll give you more questions.
I'm sorry, guys, I hate to interrupt, but have you talked to the director? There was a rumor that he wanted to get rid of Joseph.
It's nothing like that. Joe was my friend. I wished all the best for him.
All the crew said that you guys had a conflict. Were you unhappy with his acting?
I love Joe. But others began to notice how much his popularity was dropping. And one day, he overheard me talking to the producer, where we were discussing his dismissal.
Oh, so you did want to get rid of him?
On the contrary, I convinced the producers to keep him for the sequel, but they were against it. Producers are all about money, ratings.
What made Joe so angry? Huh? What made him angry?
It seemed to him I didn't defend him enough, although I did everything I could.
Okay, question time. Who interrupted the conversation between Sherlock and Vincent? Michael did. He interrupted their conversation. Who was the next suspect that Sherlock had to question? It was Justin, the director. Why was Justin suspected? Because there was a rumor he wanted to get rid of Joe. What did all the crew say about the director and Joe? They all said that they had a conflict. What did the others begin to notice about Joe? They began to notice how his popularity was dropping recently. And one day, who overheard Justin talking to the producer? Joe did. He overheard their conversation. What did Joe overhear? He overheard that they were discussing his dismissal. Did Justin really want to get rid of Joe? No, he didn't. On the contrary, he convinced the producers to keep him for the sequel. Did Justin convince the producers to get Joe dismissed? No, he didn't. He convinced him to keep him for the sequel. What made Joe so angry? It seemed to him that Justin didn't defend him enough. Okay, let's take a listen.
But Joe, he kept on working.
Yes, I told Joe, I could get the producers to put him on the sequel. I lied. It was his last shooting day. The day when he was killed.
Yeah, we kind of already know that.
I mean it in the cinematic sense. In the previous version of the script, the character of Joe was shot in the leg and wounded. Then they rewrote the script so that Joe gets shot right in the heart.
I don't get it. If this was Joe's last shooting day, why would anybody want to get rid of him?
I don't know. I think the puzzle's starting to come together for me, Sarge. Listen, can you describe that shot again for us?
Okay, question time. What did Justin lie to Joe about? He told Joe that he could get the producers to put him in the sequel. What did Justin reveal about the original version of the script? In the previous script, the character of Joe was shot in the leg and wounded. But then, how did the producers rewrite the script? They wrote it so that Joe got shot right in the heart. Poor Joe. Why did they rewrite the script so that Joe was shot in the heart? Because they wanted him dead so that he couldn't appear in the sequel in a cinematic sense. What did Sherlock ask Justin to do? He asked him to describe that shot again. All right, more story to listen to.
I broke up Joe and Michael's fight. Joe unknowingly thought Michael was hitting on Lola. But that was the new scene I had added the day before. Come on, guys.
So I'm ready. What about you, Genius?
As always, Max.
Go ahead, Genius.
Camera rolling, sound spirit.
One.
Silence, please.
Then I said, action!
That's it all, man. You're done.
No, you're wrong. This is just the beginning. But I love you. How amazing.
Let me finish here.
Stop!
So, guys, what do you think? Take a guess. Who is responsible for Joseph's murder? Is it Michael, Lola? Maybe it's the director, or Joseph. I'll give you one last chance right now to make your choice.
All right, now it's your time for questions. Who did Joe unknowingly think was hitting on Lola? Michael. He unknowingly thought Michael was flirting with Lola. Was Michael really hitting on Lola? No, he wasn't. That was just a new scene the director had added the day before, and Joe unknowingly misunderstood Michael. What does Sherlock want us to speculate about? He wants us to guess who is responsible for Joe's murder. Does Sherlock want Vincent to speculate who the murderer is? No, he doesn't. He wants us to guess who is responsible for Joe's death. Who did it? Who are the suspects for Joseph's murder? It might be Lola, Michael, the director, or even Joe. Okay, here comes the answer.
Sergeant!
Right here.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to send in the print from the casing back to the lab for match verification.
Again? Detective, we've already done that to everyone on the set.
No, not everyone, Sarge. Not Joseph's print.
Do you think he put the live round in the gun?
Well, yeah, it's obvious. I mean, just take a look at his pants.
What about his pants? Just ordinary pants?
Too ordinary, cheap. I mean, take a look at this. Look at his expensive coat. The tailored shirt, The Italian shoes, nobody would wear such cheap pants with that kind of an outfit. Impossible.
Doesn't sound like Joe. He's always choosing his own best clothes for the shoot.
Les, he intentionally wore those pants, knowing that he was going to trash them later.
Why would he throw his...
All right, question time. What is Sherlock going to need Vincent to do? He needs him to send the fingerprints from the shell casing back to the lab to match verification. Why does Sherlock have to verify the fingerprints again at the lab? Because he suspects it's Joe's. What outfit did Joe wear? He wore a very ordinary pants with an expensive coat and a tailored shirt and Italian shoes. Why did Joe intentionally wear such an outfit? Because he'd be shot in the leg. He knew that was going to trash those pants later. Okay, let's listen one more time.
Why would he throw his pants away?
What kind of a question is that? You told me yourself. The original script called for him to be shot in the leg.
But why would he set up his leg wound?
Sergeant, come on, just think. Imagine the headlines the next day. Famous actor almost gets murdered on set. I mean, he'd rise like the phoenix. He'd be showered, smothered in admiration, sympathy, new roles, lots of money. He'd get back everything that he had
Well,
lost.
the script was changed, and he was shot in the heart.
Just look at his face. Look at that expression. Total surprise. He found out just at the moment. But it was a little bit too late.
Okay, the concluding questions. Why would Joe throw his pants away? Because he'd be shot in the leg according to the original script. Why would Joe set up his leg to be wounded? Because he'd be famous again and get back everything he'd lost. If Joe had been shot in the leg, what would have happened? The next day, all the headlines would have been about him, and he would have risen like the phoenix. If Joe had been shot in the leg, what would he have been showered, smothered in? He would have been showered, smothered in admiration and sympathy. Who would have gotten new roles and lots of money? Joe would. He would have gotten back everything he had lost. What was Joe's expression when Lola pointed the gun at him? Total surprise. He found out just at the moment, but it was too late. All right, how did you do today? We have just a couple of more minutes.
Oh, nice shot, mate.
So Joseph set it all up himself.
That's right. This is one case. We know who's guilty. And it seems like he's punished himself already.
Joseph. What a fool you are. This may sound silly, but I think the old man would have been glad if he'd known he was going to pass away in such a spectacular way.
Well, you know, there's one thing that Joe obviously wasn't wrong about. And that all the headline tomorrow, they're going to be about him.
Another case closed, Detective.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tanya Love, and I'm an actress on the main cast of Traumatized Me. If you would like to see more videos featuring me,
Wow,
please
you made it
subscribe
through
to
to
my channel.
answer these questions. Who set it all up? Joe did. Joe set it all up himself. He put the real bullet in the gun. Who called Joe a fool? The director did. He said, Joseph, 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 what a fool you are. Joe would have been glad if he had known what? If he'd known he was going to pass away in such a spectacular way. Who passed away in a spectacular way? Joe did. He passed away in a spectacular way. To see more videos featuring Tanya Law, what should we do? We should subscribe Dramatize Me channel. All right, thank you. You made it. Congratulations!